My conjecture in this video is that we have been lulled into thinking that more creative or less manual labour is safe from AI by the fact that earlier automation targeted manual, repetitive tasks. Lift operators were no longer needed to manually halt lifts, and robotic arms spread throughout manufacturing, taking innumerable factory positions. And of course, this blue-collar automation is continuing. According to Oxford Economics, 20 million manufacturing jobs around the world will be lost to automation by 2030. But people like me, who don't work primarily with their hands, thought that our work was much further down in the queue of jobs to be obviated. What we didn't appreciate, I think, was that it was the repetitiveness of these manual tasks that made them easier to replace, not their physicality. Physically complex tasks, such as firefighting, would be immensely difficult to automate at the current time. Maybe if every fire was the same, and every building that contained a fire was structured in the same way, and every route from fire stations to the said buildings was the same, etc., then it would be a different story. But my conjecture is that the logical progression for AI, after its programmers enabled it to master rudimentary, repetitive, manual tasks, was for it to master abstract, not particularly repetitive tasks, such as those found in law, translation, finance, and yes, artwork, and soon perhaps those in my job, private tutoring. All of these areas are heavily informational and do not produce or primarily interact with physical objects. A sufficiently clever algorithm could, in theory, master every law, every language, every financial tool, and every pedagogical subject on the planet, and convey their mastery visually or with a voice and intonation that is indistinguishable from a human's. Are you even 100% confident that my voice right now isn't generated by an AI? You probably are, but in a year's time, 2 years' time? I'm not saying this task will be easy or cheap, or even likely in the next 3 to 5 years. But there is nothing in AI's way, and everything in its history to suggest that it will succeed. Which brings me to my framework for predicting which jobs will be most threatened over the next 10 years. Beyond that, who knows? First, is your creative or non-manual job high cost per hour? The higher it is, the more incentive for it to be replaced or cheapened with competition from a sophisticated algorithm. Having said that, I think it's fair to point out that the individuals in those high-paying jobs are generally going to be better educated or skilled, and therefore in a slightly better position to learn a fresh skill. Second, does your job contain some necessary physical human interaction? For example, while a lawyer's technical work might be replaceable, someone still has to speak to the witness, maybe put a hand on the victim's shoulder, look a juror in the eye. I say has to because our system is set up to have juries and judges, etc., and our systems, social and political, are likely to lag behind technological change by a long, long way. And don't underestimate the power of governments to protect industries who lobby it hard. And the third piece in my framework, even if your job does not involve any physical contact, does it involve children or other vulnerable humans? As we have seen with self-driving cars, societies are immensely risk-averse when it comes to new technology and human safety. Even if an algorithm is demonstrably more adept than a human, because it is new and hard to fathom, the algorithm can easily scare people, rightfully or wrongfully. Few people will trust an AI to mentor a child, for example, even if the machine is not physically present. AI might already be fully capable of flying a plane on its own, but human fears and preferences dictate that a fully pilotless commercial flight is a long way away. Those of us in non-manual work need to be aware of a further difference between the latest AI and the early AI that has become prevalent in manufacturing. The difference is that algorithms can now go from research paper to reality in no time at all, and there is none of the lag that affects training and supervising a factory arm in a physical factory. 1 year, an AI cannot produce anything of artistic merit. The next, it is imitating the masters, as we have all seen with Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Imogen, etc. It took years for ATMs to become widespread and then commonly used. Cashiers had some warning. White-collar workers may get much less warning. So, what is the point of all of this? Just to scare some people? No, these are just my ideas, and the purpose of this video is threefold. First, I suggest staying restless with your skill set as best you can. Diversify your revenue streams if at all possible. For example, by trying to create a human following of your work, a fan base, if you will, that might survive post-automation. This channel is one of my attempts at that. I know this is common advice, but ultimately we humans may only have each other as AI enters the chat. Second, explore what the AI can do in your industry. Learn all about it, and that will buy you more notice about what is coming. For a while, AI may even be that quasi-mythical tool that gurus speak of. But keep an eye out for tasks that the AI is currently okay at, because the exponential curve dictates that it can go from okay to exceptional in no time at all. And third, whatever your age and industry, consider saving more heavily than you might have to prepare you for future gaps in employment and a slightly earlier retirement than you might have planned. I didn't save much of anything until I hit 30. Now I save as if I might not have a job in 10 to 15 years. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Who knows? Best case scenario is that we are all retired before too many jobs have gone, and that AI is our servant in solving the world's problems. But let's hedge our bets. Thank you for watching, and please do let me know in the comments what you feel about this topic.